Well, part of that, and I have not done a video on this, and I probably should. Part of that comes from. We need to back up because this actually needs a little bit of detail. Onsteora, hang on. Yeah. Onsteora invented SCA rapier. It started in Onsteora. All rapier across the known world of the SCA, it draws its origins from the lessons and the techniques developed, the safety lessons and techniques developed in Onsteora. Now, obviously, that growth is now represented society-wide, and there are other developments going on. So it's not that we have any monopoly on it, but the heritage starts here.
Yep, the heritage starts here. The Queensman
is here. The Queensman is here. Now, the important thing is that the terminal rank, the highest rank you could have for rapier combat, was the Don. The whites in Onsteora is represented as a white scarf. Mm-hmm. And for the longest time, for decades, 2 decades at least, if not more, I don't remember the exact age, that was the highest, a grant level award in rapier was the highest rank you could receive in the Society for Rapier Combat. Mm-hmm. A lot of kingdoms had treaties with Onsteora.
Yep, the White Scarf treaties.
That let them use the same rank that we had. Now, a handful didn't. I know that
there was the ogre. There was a few others.
The ring thing.
Yeah, that's the ogre.
Is that the ogre?
The Order of the Golden Ring.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard it called ogre before. I just heard them called ring things.
Yeah.
But a majority, and there were also a handful of kingdoms that flat refused to have rapier combat, and they were not apologetic about it.
Nope.
But when the Master of Defense came out, that's a society level award. That is, all kingdoms have to issue it, have to recognize it, have to cross recognize it. All of a sudden, your terminal award, the Don, has a higher rank. And how do you accommodate that?
So a lot of kingdoms did a mass.
Yep.
Did a massive.
Yep.
We did not. We chose not to for multiple reasons. Some smart, some dumb. Decisions were made. It's done. Don't need a hash.
It's safe to say that was always going to be a political conversation.
That was always going to be not just a political conversation, but a conversation that no one's not going to be heated coming out of.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's not just on the rapier field. That's also the roses, because a lot of people don't realize how tight the roses and the white scarves are. And
in Onsteora,
in
Onsteora, the rose, depending
the queen
on
that makes you is your queen for life.
It is safe to say, I doubt I'm burning any bridges when I say this. The white scarves are the enforcement arm of the roses community.
Kind of. Well, so rapier had a really interesting, it sometimes got banned, sometimes it was alive. And the roses are the ones, the queens and the roses are the ones that protected the community. And it did this wonderful evolutionary loop where the rapier, the white scarves were protecting the roses as the roses were protecting the community.
Yeah.
And it was this beautiful symbiotic thing. And it's one of the things I'm so glad it didn't get terminated and just move on to the mod.
And the critical thing you need to understand here is that in the grand scheme of things, the mod is not that old of an award.
No.
So there's still some reshuffling socially about, because all of a sudden, all of the white scarves go from I'm the highest ranking person in this discipline to, oh wait, there's a peerage now. How do I'm already the best. I mean, let's face it. You had to be a
peer.
You had to be peerage level to get a white scarf.
And a lot of people have either forgot this or a lot of them didn't catch it. But a white scarf ceremony before the mod was announced was a full peerage. Other orders spoke for you. The Don spoke for you you were asked to joined the circle and you were put on vigil.
Yes.
You were not made that night. I mean, there was a few that were shotgunned, but it generally was you were announced as the candidate, as an elect, and then went into it. It was a full peerage.
It was a peerage in all but name.
Yep.
We can't call it a peerage because peerage has a legal implication per society, and it wasn't that.
It didn't have the
The
weight.
patent of arms.
It didn't have the patent of arms. It didn't have the weight of the society. It had the weight in the kingdom.
It had the prestige. It didn't have the rank.
Yep. And it didn't have, like I said, it didn't have the society weight. It had the kingdom weight. And the kingdom looked at them that way.
Yeah. But now,
And I grew up in that shadow. And when I got mine, mine wasn't mine was after the mod. But the celebration that happened after everyone that was there, I earned it the old way. I enjoy that. That was kind of how I was pushed towards becoming a mod.
and part of the ceremony, part of this evolution, is sorting out where does the white scarf now sit? What
is the mod?
What is its role? What is the mod's role?
And it's not. It's still not answered.
It's still not answered. It's still not answered. But that's another conversation to have when we have about 6 more hours. And probably that's where you're going to be drinking something a little stronger.
Yeah.